has recently been ranked the 4th best place in the world to live and work for expats, and it's also topped a global ranking for women's personal safety. So the invitation to the world's best to come here and prosper has well and truly been issued. So today, I'm delighted to be joined on AB Talks by Sameh Al Qubaisi, the Executive Director of the Executive Affairs Office at Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development, to unpack this success and to talk about what's drawing expats to Abu Dhabi and the UAE. Sameh, welcome to AB Talks. Great to see you again.
Great to see you again, Scott, and thank you for having me.
Very welcome, very welcome. Well, I mean, look, I know Abu Dhabi's appeal as I got off an airplane 12 years ago and began my UAE journey back then. But what do you think the fundamentals are that are winning all these global plaudits this year and drawing people to Abu Dhabi?
I think for Abu Dhabi, the stars are aligned this year. We've had a really good recovery coming out of the pandemic. Yeah. Well managed recovery as well. And I think with the businesses opening up, with the industries coming back into play, with the attraction programs Abu Dhabi is putting in place to attract the best-in-class companies in priority sectors such as ICT, healthcare, and pharmaceutical, that brings with it a large talent requirement. And that's what Abu Dhabi is trying to address. And as you well know, a wealth of a nation is its people. Yeah. And that's where Abu Dhabi and the UAE generally are really investing, whether it's to attract the right people, to create the right mechanism and the ease of facilitating the move to Abu Dhabi, the livability and the life standards, at the same time, the different visa initiatives that's coming out to make it more attractive.
So let's talk about that. I mean, through the work of the Abu Dhabi Residence Office, can you unpack those initiatives that have been overseen over the past 12 months? Because you've been busy there, creating almost like a new environment and almost a new invitation to the world's brightest and best.
Yes, we've been extremely busy setting it up and at the same time running. And it's been a pleasure to actually read and see some of the expatriates or residents as well comments and how that entity or new formation really added value in terms of services to their lifestyle. We've been obviously busy activating initially the golden visa and how to unlock a lot of the categories. As you know, there's over 12 categories within the golden visa, and all of them are either qualified. So if you're a doctor and you have a license, you're automatically qualified, versus somebody who's an artist. And how do you really define what an artist that's qualified for a golden visa? So we've been working really closely with the federal authorities. We've been really working closely with the local authorities to put that bylaw or operational model where we, one, are giving the right person the right visa. It comes first. Yeah. Second is the ease of doing it and the straight through processing of doing it. And I could tell you today on our website, the qualification part is all automated. You don't need to visit an accommodating authority. And I'm very proud of the team, of the hard work they've done to make it happen. So that's one part, which is the activation of the golden visa. We're also rolling out new visas, like as you heard from the news and the federal authorities. There's going to be a retirement visa addressing for, age 60 and above. Yeah. You're going to have the tourist visa with multiple entry up to 5 years, working remotely. And we're also working with them in new categories of the visa. One of them is the green visa you heard about. So a lot of work, a lot of infrastructure going on that end. The other side of what the office is trying to achieve is basically connectivity. What do you want to know about Abu Dhabi? Where can you rent? What is the cost of living? What is the type of schools are there? And at the same time, moving to also the retail side, which is what is the benefit if I become a resident of Abu Dhabi? What benefits do I get, which is my utilities of my schooling and fees? Yeah. So we're integrating all that in a one-stop shop, and that's also one of the main focus of the entity is attraction, facilitation, and then making sure that once you live here, you actually anchored here.
I was going to ask you about that. I mean, it's a question I was going to come on to later, but I think it's an interesting point now as well. Like, how much has the focus been has it been changing from attracting business people just to come, so single business people to come and do business, as opposed to the invitation now being to families, business people and families to come here, put down roots, be in the economy, and grow and scale within the economy?
So when we say business people, you're targeting a lot of investors. The investors move with their families anyway. If you're a company owner, you need to be next to your company, and you own it domiciling in Abu Dhabi or elsewhere. You want to be close to your business. So we're trying to also show that people, you're not only coming here as an investor or a multinational corporation, because also if a multinational corporation comes, if they want to attract their top talent to move to Abu Dhabi, right? You need to have a compelling story that Abu Dhabi has what it takes to make it happen, and that's what we're doing. Is we really have world-class infrastructure. We have entertainment and hospitality that caters for any type of age and nationality. We're a tolerant society, and I think what the office only doing is just bringing that to light and having people easier to access this information and understand Abu Dhabi and market Abu Dhabi a bit better.
So, and in terms of that, you mentioned coronavirus and the response to the coronavirus earlier. How much is the response to that, and the fact that the UAE, and Abu Dhabi has been one of the economies that kind of opened up the quickest, and there's many global plaudits for how the UAE's handled coronavirus. How much has that created a window of opportunity for you? And how much kind of, interest is that attracting from expats and entrepreneurs who are going, do you know what? There's a country here that's open and economically active at the same time.
We're economically active and we're probably a bit safe as well. And that, if anything, that we learned from the past year and a half is safety. And I think what made this country successful is the speed of deployment of the vaccines and the medication to this public and private sector hospitals. The population is highly vaccinated comparing to many other nations. And we are still, we applied the Green Pass, we applied Al Husn. So we're really, really safe. And I think that's one of the reasons why we are a bit confident in opening up earlier and at the same time sustaining that openness. As you could see, the past 7 or 8 months, we've been back to business. And the numbers that I've seen have been decreasing. So I think that's a testament for the leadership direction, for the governance they put in place, and the follow through and sustainability of what they've done. Similarly, the same thing we're building into activating those businesses, right? So we're building the speed of building the office, activating it. So I think one thing about the UAE is we're fast, but we're also sustainable and we're governed well.
Yeah. So how many, you talk about the office, how many expats are you currently serving? And when you're doing your modeling, how much do you expect that kind of population to grow? How much do you expect your work to grow? And how much do what are your future plans for the department?
Well, the plan is we will continue growing. I think, as I mentioned, we unlock a couple of sectors right now, especially in the doctors and many in the celebrities field. Now we're really focusing on the engineers, the scientists, the PhD holders. That took us a bit more to quantify. The reason being is the complexity of addressing the segment. So we're going to keep pushing and making sure that we also onboard those categories. Students as well, that's going to be an ongoing category. We want to increase our retention rate for foreign students who are high achievers. So that will continue and will not stop. What we're also going to look at is tapping new categories. So for example, if you don't qualify for the golden visa, but at the same time, you are not, how would I say it? You're still in a priority sector, but you don't qualify for the golden visa. So where do you stand in between? So we're also coming up with new types of visas that will cater to this population where they are in a priority sector. But yes, they don't yet qualify for a golden visa. However, we still want to make sure that we retain them. So again, also, if you don't qualify today, what is the journeys you as an individual need to take for one day to qualify for a golden visa? And that journey is your own personal journey. It's your own personal success. So what can the office help you achieve that? Whether it's through lifelong learning, whether it's through finding jobs and connectivity with the employers and employers network. So this is the type of topics we're going to start looking at, because we really want everyone to have a golden visa.
I mean, it sounds like you're kind of going on a journey where you're, and you're an active partner with the talent that you're trying to attract, as opposed to simply it being a one-way conversation with them going, "I'd like to come." You're actually now partnering with talent to try and bring them into the emirate.
Yes, we are partnering it with, not with the individual, we are partnering it with the institutions that will
Yeah,
help the individual transform. And
yeah,
similarly, not only on the good side, but also when we face talent challenges, yes, we will listen to complaints. Yes, we will research and find out what is the origination of this complaint and how many are of them. And then we'll look at, okay, what is the core solution of that? So we could start doing an initiative and fix it. And that's what the office is all about.
How do you quantify, the expat contribution to the economy? How important actually is it to attract this talent to Abu Dhabi?
It's critically important. If we're looking at this, the fourth industrial revolution,
Yeah,
one is that we need to invest heavily in our own people, our own residents. And when I say our own people, that's both UAE nationals and our own residents.
yeah.
And also to get the best in class skill set that is not available here today, to be able to be a part of that revolution.
Now we're seeing, abroad in the world, lots of entrepreneurs who are coming into the market, whether they're my age or whether they're young, ambitious, kids, with a sense of purpose and really wanting to create value and look for unicorns. Is Abu Dhabi sort of aiming to become a land of unicorns?
I guess we're all in the race, us and many others. And you know, what makes a unicorn is one is the idea, solving a problem, right?
Yeah,
And that's the common, and then the ecosystem you have around it,
yeah,
whether it's access to capital, access to investors,
yeah.
ability to leverage, ease of doing business, and many other variables that. So while we hope that we get unicorns and make unicorns, but you don't actually make. You create the environment
Yeah,
for those unicorns to
yeah.
appear. And you might be lucky, you might not be lucky after doing that. But I think as far as Abu Dhabi leadership, wise leadership, we're really focusing on building the ecosystem, and that's the main thesis.
I was talking to a global investor the other day who has been responsible for some billion-dollar IPOs, so very successful. And he said the UAE's advantage is that entrepreneurs can go to the UAE and scale quicker because there is the infrastructure and because there is this ambitious energy about the UAE. Would that be an opinion you subscribe to?
There is an ambition, and there is also sustainability in everything we focus on or do. And everything we build or bid for is there's a long-term plan for it. And I think the beauty about this country is everything is planned ahead and everything is
Yeah,
planned for a long term.
yeah,
We don't do knee-jerk decisions and we don't jump into equations we are not ready for. We have an infrastructure, and we could see 40 years ago, when the nation was 10 years old, we started really investing in sovereign wealth funds, infrastructure, ring fencing a lot of the income of the country's oil outward. So there was already a vision. That vision didn't just jump 10 years ago, 20 years ago. There was a long-term
yeah,
vision that took
yeah.
50 years to achieve, and there's another vision that's going to take us to the next 50 years.
I mean, I think there was a key word you said there as well, which I think is really attractive to both investors and expats when they're thinking about moving somewhere, which is obviously a big decision to a different part of the world, and that was stability. And it is that ability of the UAE to plan long term, because obviously, yeah, I come from a nation of flip flop politics and plans being there one day and gone the next. Whereas the UAE has this unique ability to be able to lean into a long term plan and deliver it and create stability for the people that it attracts to the country.
Absolutely, and I think that stability is what really helping this country maintain its course, whether it's at the leadership level or also at the ministries level.
Yeah.
The vision is clear. It's very consistent. The leadership are pragmatic and consistent of their messages, and I think their message is clear. We want to be a role model in this region. and we will be a role model, and we are a role model, and we will continue to be one. And I think we want the best for the region, and we want the region to follow that role model, and we could also help that role model to be implemented elsewhere. And that's the vision of the leadership, and that's what they taught us.
Abu Dhabi itself was ranked the 5th most preferred place to work for foreign nationals globally in 2021. But I know the UAE and I know Abu Dhabi. You're not going to be happy with spot number 5, are you? How are you going to claim spot number 1? Because I'm sure that's got to be your ambition.
So we at the Department of Economic Development of Abu Dhabi and also at the federal level, there is a competitiveness department. Their only job is to make sure we jump the ranks, and we work closely with them into coordinating and see how can we improve and how can we, for the next time, for the next ranking, are able to achieve a better position. So that's ongoing work, and I could say hundreds of initiatives are going in parallel to make sure that we also keep growing in that ranking.
I'd be very tempted to try and make you unpack all those hundreds of initiatives. However, I don't think we have the time. What we do have upon us is the year of the 50th and the Jubilee of the UAE. So looking at everything that the UAE has achieved over the past 50 years, where do you see the opportunity for the next 50 years? What's your mission statement as you lean into the future?
I think I've stressed on priority sectors and the future of work.
Which is a fascinating topic.
And it's a very fascinating topic. And hence, I think you need to look at what's next by understanding the future of work. Where is the next jobs, where the next industry is going to be, and also the priority sectors that are going to be really, really focused on by the ecosystem, right? Because this is where we see the next 50 years gonna be residing in. So if you look at those two instruments and follow them, I think that's a good indicator of where this nation is going. And whether you're an investor or want to enhance your career, I think that will define for you the career path.
That almost feels like a mic drop moment, but I'm going to ask you one more question, which is looking short term rather than long term. Over the next 12 months, what's exciting you? What are you really looking forward to seeing develop over the next year? 2022 will be the year of what?
I think for me personally, I think we have a very strong banking sector, and now it's more or less back into business heavily. What I want to see in addition to that, a really strong capital market, another alternative for startups and investors and borrowers to tap into other than the conventional banks, which is the capital markets, obviously. So what I'm looking for next year is a lot of products that will come to help investors or startup access and connect them together. And also various types of products that will also give the optionality of what types of capital you raise. And I think that will help give the economy a boost than the current status quo. And that's where I think the next 12 months will be a major turning point of how both ADX and the Dubai Exchange will implement those products.
That's brilliant. I now know where to come when I want to launch my side hustle. If my boss is watching this, I have no side hustle. Sameh, thank you so much for joining us on AB Talk today. Delighted to talk about the success, and congratulations for the rankings for the UAE in the recent global research. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you very much.